Hi everybody, welcome back to my short introduction to HTML and CSS. Today we are going to create our very first web page using Repl.it. I'm going to take you through the process of some of the basics in terms of HTML, but also looking at adding in some HTML tags and some content. Okay, first things first, Repl.it is great at allowing us to give us the basic structure of a web page. I'm just going to go through that with you for the moment. First of all, you've got your HTML tag, showcasing that HTML is the document type that's there. Obviously, you've got doc type and HTML above it, but inside those HTML tags, it's really important that everything in there populates that into HTML code. And then we've got the two main sections. We've got head, which relates to everything regarding what the web page is about. And also we've got the body, which is the content, so what you actually see on your page. Things like your metadata, it's not important to get into too much depth into that. The two things inside the head that we do need to look at are things like the title. So the title of the page is what appears in the tab at the very, very top of the browser. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a web page about giraffes. So I'm going to say giraffes. And then you've got your link here to your CSS style sheet, which is changing how the page is going to look. And then next video, I'll be all about that kind of thing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add in some content and make sure that it's inside those two body tags. Now we've got this script for JavaScript. That's not something that we're going to be looking at. So we're going to just take a few extra lines underneath it, and we're going to get started creating our giraffe page. So the giraffe page is very similar to that. You'll notice you've got giraffes at the top there inside the tab, which is your title. You've got a picture and you've got various text that goes along with it. So this is a main title. So we've got H1 is a main title. We've got our subheading. We've got a paragraph of information. We've got another subheading, and we've got some short fun facts about giraffes. Okay, so back to our Repl.its, and what we're going to do is we're going to start by creating that H1 heading. So H1 is a main heading. It is the biggest heading that there is, so it's going to be the largest text that appears on the web page. And all we're going to just say is we're going to put in giraffes. Okay, and then underneath that, so we've got our main heading now. So underneath that, we're going to put in our subheading. And that subheading is going to be a H2. You can get H3 and so on and so forth, but H2 is your first subheading that goes along with that. So we've got H2 in there, and we're going to say that according to our page, this is a web page all about giraffes. So this is a web page all about, oh, where's that menu? And there's our subheading. If I run that now, we've got our main heading in there. We've also got our subheading that populates in there as well. Okay, now we're going to add in a paragraph, which is your main text that you would utilize within a page. Open and close our P tag. It's always good to open and close to start with. Some people prefer to write out the text that's in between, but in essence, it's a lot easier. And you know that you've definitely opened and closed your tag. One thing about HTML is you have to open and close tags. Okay, so otherwise it starts to bleed into other areas of your web page, and that's where you get errors. So I've added in there now a paragraph of information. Now that paragraph of information was just taken from a search engine response. So anything that relates to giraffes, go and find some information on them, and you can populate that in there as well. Okay, either that or freeze frame this, and you can start typing in the information as well. Okay, and then if we run that, we've now got that little paragraph of information about our giraffes. Okay, so the last thing that we're doing in terms of the text will be the fun facts at the bottom, which is a subheading. We've also got the 3 facts that come about from that. And I'm just going to quite quickly put them into place. So we're going to start off with a H2. And then we're going to open and close that H2. And in there, we're going to put in our fun facts. And then underneath that, we are going to create what is known as an ordered list. Now, you get two different types of lists in HTML. You've got ordered lists and unordered lists. Ordered lists are numbers, unordered lists are bullet points. So we've got our list item underneath our ordered list, and it's going to open and it's going to close, just like our other bits and pieces. And I'm just going to copy this to each of our different lines that's there for our three items. So the three facts are that giraffes' necks are too short to touch the ground. And we're going to paste that in there. Second of all, that they only need to drink every few days. And we're going to populate that in there. And then lastly, we've got the giraffes spend most of the time standing up, even when they're sleeping and giving birth. It sounds extremely uncomfortable, but they are very tall animals after all. Okay, so we add in those three items and we'll finish off, make sure it's back in line with our closed OL tag at the bottom there. Okay, if we run that, we should have our fun facts that pop up as they do with the numbered list. Just to show you what I mean in terms of the change from OL from UL. So if I just put in UL instead of OL and run that, that will populate into bullet points rather than the numbered list. Okay, so just change that back to OL because that's what I want. And then I'll run that again. Okay guys, now that we've got our text in there for our giraffes, now the last thing for us to do is to upload an image to go alongside it. And to do that, what we need to do is to create ourselves an images folder and to upload an image into that particular folder. Now you see on the left hand side here in the files, I've created an images folder, and inside that I've got an image called giraffe.jpg. Now you can pick any particular picture of a giraffe that's in there. Oh, for some reason the preview's not working. In order to populate that in there. Okay, so what we're going to do then is, if you create a new folder, you create a new folder at the top there, add a new folder, and then if you upload the file using the three dots, that is there. Okay, for some reason it won't allow me to upload that image with my screencast software, so that's why I'm not showing you what's to do there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in our in between our H1 and our H2, we're going to put in a link. So I'm just taking a couple of spare lines there, and what we're going to do is we're going to open in an image tag, and we're going to then say that the source of that image is images /giraffe.jpg. And that height of that picture is going to be 200, and the width is going to equal 300. That's there. And then I'm just going to close off that link there. So if I run that now, you'll see that I've got my giraffe picture that's populated inside my web page. Okay. All right. So that is the image tag. That's how we add in images into it. You'll notice that I've set the height. If I hadn't set the height, it will come in as a large image, and so on and so forth. Okay, so give that a try. Work your way through the tutorial video. Pause it if you need to, and see if you can create that giraffe web page.